Hi, it's Daryl here, answering any questions you've got on net zero, ESOS compliance, SCCR compliance, science-based targets, etc. Anything to do with that, and you're in the right place. And I love speaking with you. I love trying to answer your questions. And today's question, Farah, is...
So this is the question that we got as a query on the chat.
Yep.
And the question is, what does an energy audit actually involve?
Okay, what does an energy audit actually involve? Okay, so energy audits can be to various standards. The standard that you should aim at as a minimum for a decent one is BS-EN 16247. Okay, so that's a bit of a mouthful. BS-EN 16247. It's available in 4 parts, and each part of the standard addresses a different component of the audit. And that's a good quality audit that people are using. For example, that's kind of one of the standards that they use for ESOS. The other one you should look at and have a look at what it involves is the ISO standard, ISO 50002. Notice it's 50002, not 50001. 50001 is the overarching sort of energy management standard. 50002 is a subset of 50001. And we internally, whenever we do audits, work to ISO 50002. That's our standard. What does it involve? Okay, so a couple of bits. First, you need to make aware and plan. So you have to get the people involved for the energy audit together, and you have to agree what's going to be done, what you're going to look at. Okay. Second, you need a site survey. As if you watched my videos before, you know we use a tool called PLATO. PLATO has got an energy audit module in there, but in the site survey, it's a walk around. Okay, it's a walk around survey, and in the survey, you go around, you take pictures of all the energy consuming assets. So typically lights, heating, space conditioning, computers, machinery. You can do lifts, but what are you going to do with a lift? It'd be very unusual if you came up with energy saving measures for lifts, unless you really know what you're talking about. But anything like that, catering equipment, etc. And then you find the machine info as best you can. So if you've got, for example, a motor running, so you've got a pump running, a water pump, they have plates on them. It's called a motor plate. And on that, it's got information about what that motor is, how much energy it draws, etc., etc. And you make notes of all of these things, and you then sort of collate an entire, it's called the estate, the energy estate, for a particular site. So you've actually got a list of all of the assets that consume energy. Now, you know that the sum of all assets, that's the energy that they use for all the assets, is equal to the energy bill usage. So what you try and then do is you say, well, look, I've got a list of all the assets here. So you've got, as I say, you've got motors, pumps, machinery of various forms. You've got computers, you've got catering equipment there. If you add up all of that and look at the usage, the typical usage during the course of a day, a week, a month, a year, if you add all that up, you should come to the same number as the amount of energy you've been billed for from the electricity company. And if you represent that like this, because everybody does, you've got the sum of the assets over here, you've got the total energy, and that's from your meters. They should balance, and that's called the energy balance. And then that is the actual audit done. If you're in ESOS, so what is an audit? It's that. If you're in ESOS, you have to go a stage further and actually recommend where the energy consuming equipment should be improved. So specifically, you'd be looking at typically old air conditioning systems, old boilers, old anything really, worn motors where the bearings might have gone, etc., etc. So 2 parts: plan, survey that you do on site, desk work, add it all up, try and match it up to say, well, look, if you add up all the assets, it should add up to the amount of energy used there. That's called the energy balance. And if you're doing ESOS, a third component, which is to then say, well, actually, if you did this and this and this, you'd probably save X, Y, Z. It will cost A, B, C to put in. Therefore, it's got a payback period of whatever it's going to be. Whew, quite a lot, isn't it? So there's quite a lot there. It's quite a skilled job. Can you do it without any training? Yes, you can. I have seen it. It is a big ask, though, and if you want my advice, you get in an energy auditor, and they specialise in this sort of stuff, and they'll be going through that process there. Okay, how does that sound?
Yeah, looks easy enough.
You come off it. There's quite a lot in there. There's quite a lot to go wrong in there, specifically down when you look up all the assets and you think, hang on a second, you've got, for example, 2 million kilowatt hours a year here, but I'm only being billed for 1 million down here. So you've got your sums wrong somewhere. So I'll give you one to try and see how you get on. That's what I do. All right. Look, hopefully that was useful. That's what an energy audit is. You'll be getting them if you're at ESOS. You have to do them by law. So you'll be having a number of these done. That's what's going on behind the scenes. I hope that was useful. If you've got any questions, let me know. Very happy to hear. And if I can help, I will. And I hope that was useful. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.